Doon 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 doon. I don't know if I'm live. Doon 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 doon. My YouTube screen is yellow. It's telling me that it's not live, but I believe that it is. Doon 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 doon. Let's go! Man, oh man, it is time. Hold on. Let me get the thing going. Thank you for letting me know, Silvershot. Goodness gracious, dude. Yeah, it's telling me over on my side of things. Like I was telling y'all earlier on in the Discord, internet has been horrible the entire week. The entire week, man. I mean, the moment, I'm telling y'all, John Cena turned heel, and my internet took a nosedive. It hasn't been the same since. I've been kicked out of hunts in the middle of Monster Hunter. I've been trying to upload a Trails video for the past 3 days. 3 days! And I can't get it up. I can't get the video up, man. And so, I'm behind on videos, because there's another video behind that I wanted to get up. And it's like, well, let me know if the audio is good, by the way. Let me know if the audio is good. And so the internet's really bad this week. So more than likely, like Akash Panda says, the return of 144p con is probably going to happen. Because the internet's just been horrible. And it's not just here in my house. It's in the entire area. Like I live in a wrestling town. So I'm telling you, John Cena turned heel. And that was that! Ali G! The Gorosei stops by. Says internet or no internet, the people are getting their memberships. Internet or no internet, man. Let's go. Let's go. That's how you start a stream right there, man. That's how you start a stream. I appreciate you so much, Ali G. Thank you so much for 20 gifted memberships to the channel on this wonderful night, man. So excited to see what this chapter has in store for us, considering how good Elbaf has been so far. Listen, man, with how the internet has been in my house, I was really thinking about pre-recording the reaction. But I was like, nah, it's too good right now. You know, Elbaf is way too good. Cliffhanger that we just came off of, I was like, no, son. We gotta do it live. We have to do it live, man. Even if it's in less than 144p. It can be in whatever is less than that, which I don't know if there is something less than that. We might create it. My internet might get so bad in the middle of this stream that we might create what's worse than 144p. But Ali G, I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much once again. As always, I sound like a broken record every week. But you're the one that truly is delivering on a weekly basis, man. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for the 20 memberships, and I hope that everybody who receives the 20 memberships can enjoy them as well. So all love to everybody within the chat today. Thank you so much for letting me know. 1p con, that sounds nuts. 240p con, that also sounds nuts. Man. Chapter 1086 reaction moment. Yo, for real, Quag 2. Like, I always think back to that night as, like, the quintessential core of what this channel is. In the middle of the Gorosei's names being revealed, my power goes out. Power comes back on. And I'm delivering another promo on the other video, right? So the 1086 reaction split into 2 videos, but the hype continued, man. I mean, look at the Reverie. My power went out mid-Reverie. The only reason why y'all didn't feel it is because I was hosting it from my boy JD Legend. Shout out to my good brother from his house. So I was hosting it off of his internet. If I wasn't hosting it off his internet, my power went out mid-Reverie. So that would have been catastrophic. But God is good. God is good. And things were allowed to go the way they did, man. And so, let me... oh, by the way, earlier today, before I get to the supers, earlier today, I was driving behind a true roofer's truck. it was said true builders, true roofers, whatever it was, and I was like, dude, that's how I know today's gonna be a peak chapter, man. I tried to take a picture of it, but I was watching the Manchester United game on my phone. So by the time I was able to try to exit out and try to take the picture, the car had already gone left and it was gone, man. But I was behind a van that on the big behind thing in the back of the car said "True Roofers." I was like, bro, I gotta show this to the chat tonight. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to snap that picture. But it was crazy, man. It caught me out of nowhere. Like I was coming home from getting food. Like I said, I was listening to the United game, and all of a sudden, right in front of me pulls in True Roofers. I was like, holy flagnards, man. Not only pulling up in the streams, but also in front of my car. And so that's when I knew today was going to be a really good chapter. It had to be whether the internet was going to support it or not, you know. So we'll be here. We will be here. But let's go ahead and read the supers, and then we will get into the chapter. Let me go ahead and put up the poll. Read the title. Are we reading the title today? Let me go ahead and start that poll. And then let's get into the supers here. Starting us off, Josh Pointer comes in with a 10 in all caps and says hashtag mega. Just like last week, it says, and Usopp will wield Mjolnir. I'm actually super on board with that, man. I love that idea. Ever since I first heard of the possibility of Usopp wielding, like, you know how I was talking about this arc being filled with Legend of Zelda references, and then going in and potentially getting the Sword of Legend similar to how Link did in Ocarina of Time. Which I think would be super cool. I mean, the Master Sword in general in any of the games is always the main thing that you're working for, at least from an item standpoint. But for Usopp to be able to wield something like that in a Zelda-esque way would be like the coolest thing ever. Considering he does have like the 1,000-pound hammer, I think that would be awesome. I really do. And put Loki to a halt. Imagine Usopp's the one that puts Loki to a halt. I'd be in there like a swimmer, man. Let's go. Usopp agenda lives strong. What I can say for this chapter is Oda and his pen combo has not failed in Elbaf at all. At all. Let me know if the light is too bright or if I have to put it down on the bottom. I think we should be alright right here. But let me know if the light's it's crazy. And his pen combo has not failed in Elbaf from the beginning of the arc until now. It's been straight gas. Straight gas. Also, rip John Cena for that betrayal. Dude, in all of the years that I've been watching, that was probably the most shocking moment that I've ever experienced as a fan. Like, I was so shook, bro. I mean, I was flabbergasted, Josh Pointer. I could not believe it. Like, it makes sense. But seeing it happen in real time, after it's like when something crazy happens in One Piece that you've been theorizing for so many years. I remember going on YouTube comments on a Titantron like 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, like right in the peak of it in the Rock Cena year of both of them giving promos back at each other. When everybody's like, yo, Cena's gonna turn heel, and we got all those like really cool things, and I'd been thinking about all the different possibilities when I was at that age at that time. And so to see it happen, it's like I said, I can compare it to a One Piece chapter where we're talking about Elbaf back when I first get into the series, or we have a theory in mind all the way back then, and then it comes into fruition, and you're just sitting there like, sweet mother of flagnards, it's actually happening, you know? And that's how I felt during the Elimination Chamber. I mean, great show, obviously, but the end of the thing was just, I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe it. I was shook, dude. But thank you, Josh Pointer. Thank you so much for the super chat. As we got the Ali G Josh Pointer combo. That's how you know we're in for some gas today. Then CB Maddie comes in with a 5. Says, hey, coach, having a rough night? Very sorry to hear that, yo. Seeing you read Peak always makes me feel better, though. Thank you for being in the community. Thank you, CB Maddie. I truly hope that your night gets better. I truly hope that whenever we have these chapter reading experiences, that it's able to provide some sort of sense of comfort and or escape. As a matter of fact, going back to, we were just talking about wrestling, Paul Heyman talked about what he wanted the legacy of ECW to be. And he talked about the very same thing, that no matter like the good times or the bad times, for those 2 to 4 hours, both the fans and the wrestlers who were absolutely going through it, unable to clear their checks, right? Like near bankruptcy, at bankruptcy. For those 2 to 4 hours, they were able to forget all of it. And that's what he wanted the legacy of that company to be. And I feel like here in the community that we've established, what more beautiful thing than us being able to get together for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, if it's mural piece, it's 8 hours, and just experience the greatness, discuss the greatness, no matter what it is that we have going on, in all different sets and parts of the world. And so it's an extremely beautiful thing that that all of us can partake in, because trust me, man, the feeling is mutual. You know, there are most certainly days where I come in here and it's the chat in the chapter that really brings me up. And so I truly appreciate you for the comments, CB Maddie, and like I said, I really hope that through this stream and through this chapter reading experience, your night is able to get better. So all love to you, CB Maddie, and thank you so much for stopping by today, even though you're feeling that way. Thank you. Thank you, CB Maddie, for the super chat and the message. Wo Vaughn comes to membership for 4 months. Appreciate you, Wo Vaughn. Thank you so much for that. Now, let's get into the chapter. Up here, we can read the title. Let's get into it. It's time. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said earlier, and like we were just discussing here with the title is what Coach fears most. I think it's number 2. Well, I mean, I don't really fear the title. I think what I fear even more than the title is potentially getting spoiled on the chapter, which I guess could be, put together with the title. I guess. I suppose so. So yeah, I guess there is a connection there. But I don't fear the title. Oh my god. It's telling me that the stream is gone. Are we still live? Am I 144 Pecan? Are we still live? Hold on. My YouTube is giving me the caution sign. It's saying warning. Warning. Before I give my intro, are we still live at least? Even if it's in 144p, are we still live? Okay. Alright, we're still live. Dude, YouTube's the one that keeps scaring me. They keep going over and giving me this big, bright, yellow caution sign. And be like, listen, man. Alright, let's get into it. We're staying alive, Syndratic. We're staying alive. So we can hit the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today. Like I was just saying. If it was anything else, I would have been like, yo, we're pre-recording the reaction. I'll have it out as soon as I possibly can. But we can't do that. I can't do that. You wouldn't want that. Because we are in the middle of not just any arc. We are in the middle of another legacy piece in Oda's magnificent discography. You want to talk about LeBron James just recently hitting 50,000 career points. You want to talk about somebody in year 22 still averaging 26, 7, and 8. You want to talk about someone still hitting prime numbers this late into the game. I got someone else for you, buddy. I got someone else who's in the peak of his prime as we talk right now, ladies and gentlemen. You want to talk from an art standpoint? Look at that Elbaf art. You want to talk from a storytelling standpoint? Look at that Elbaf greatness, baby. You want to talk about from a hype standpoint, emotional standpoint, lore standpoint. My GOAT is just hitting his prime right now. And because of that, I gotta go live. Whether this gets cut out in the middle of the stream and we gotta start over at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., I'm gonna be here. Because I am not going to bed until we read chapter 1142. That's the chapter run, right? 1142 of the best-selling manga in history. And listen, man, I can't wait. Loki's free. What's he about to do? I don't know. But it's so exciting, man. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for the one and the only, the one that's coming for the crowd. My stream. Oh, I don't care whether anybody can hear it or not. My neighbors can hear it. Peace. Let's go, man. Hold up. Let me get the laptop. And then let me make sure my stream is working. Is my stream working? Oh, snap. I got a $50 super chat from Mr. Messenger Sam. Oh, we're good. We're good. Bro, I'm paranoid because my internet... Listen, man. I've been playing Monster Hunter this week, right? I'll be in the middle of hunts. Getting right down. Bro, there are some hunts that take you super long. Super long. And I'll be there. I'll be chopping away, man. Just hitting the wounds. Yeah, I mean, I'm out there looking like I'm prime Jing Freaks. You know what I'm saying? I'm hunting, man. Now imagine you're prime Jing Freaks. You're doing your thing. And right before the quest is done, you get booted. And booted. And booted. Brother, I have had to reset so many times because the internet doesn't want to work. I'm paranoid, man. I am paranoid, bro. I'm very paranoid. And so, we are here today. Instant Messenger Sama comes in with a 50. A 50. With a 50. And says, One Piece. Holy sweet mother of Flagnars, this in Messenger Sama? Are you in the chapter? Dropping a 50 bomb? You must have gotten your royalties. Hold up. Instant Messenger Sama might be in this chapter. If he's dropping a 50, the royalty check might have come in. The royalty check might have come in. Yeah, I'm telling you, those Quag 2, you get it. Some of those hunts are longer than feature films. They're longer than some of my streams. Insane. Monster Hunter mentioned greatness. Greatness. Alright, let's get into the chapter. Dude, today's a crazy day in the world of video games, man. I really want to play Split Fiction. Well, I talk about it in the video I'm trying to get up. You know, videos aren't going up because of the internet. Coach got asked what weapon you main in Monster Hunter Worlds. Thank you, Steve Maddie, for the 2. Excuse me, right now I'm maining the Greatsword. I'm having so much fun with the Greatsword. Most of the time, I go Hunting Horn. Haven't even touched it in this game. So I can't wait to try the Hunting Horn. And I've heard the Long Sword is insane. And I've also heard that Sword and Shield is better than it's ever been. So looking forward to going and exploring those. But if I keep getting kicked out of matches, I'm going to be sticking with the Greatsword until further notice. But I'm having a blast with the Greatsword. It's been fantastic so far. But after the Greatsword, I will be doing Hunting Horn because that's been what I've used in the other Monster Hunters. But like I said, dude, I've heard so many great things about the longsword. Like I want to use it. Like when I play with other people and I see them using the longsword, I'm like, dude, the combos look sick. Same thing with the dual blades. But thank you, CB Maddie. What weapon do y'all main in Monster Hunter? I'm curious. A lot of great weapons in there. Okay. Charge Blade main for life, but also doing some bow. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I've not tried the Charge Blade yet. Give me a sec. I'm trying to make sure my laptop resets. Trying to make sure we don't get interrupted. Okay. Alright, come on, laptop coon. Work with me. Work with me! Insect Glaive and Bowmain? Nice, Justin. Nice. Sword and Shield or Dual Blades? Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, that's what I've heard. The Sword and Shield is way better in this game. Dual Blades and Longsword, first time playing any games from the series? Nice. Hope you're enjoying it, Criticus. Nice, nice. Yeah, dude, I want to use the flipping longsword, dude. Like, I'm telling you, every time I get into a lobby with somebody using a longsword, I just see, like, the sickest combos. Alright, here we go. We can read the title, right? 93%? Alright, let's see. Insect Glaive, Shill, Sense 4, Ultimate. See, Quag 2, I'm in that same exact thing, but with the hunting horn, which is why I'm, like, shocked I haven't used it yet. It's just, dude, using the greatsword is so much fun. I can't explain it. I feel like I'm Guts. I feel like I'm a combination of Guts and Jing out there. Slicing away. It's just... I love the greatsword. Anyways, let's get into chapter 1142, titled... The Things I Find Scary. The things I find scary? My internet going out midstream. You know what I mean? Bro! Things I find scary. Number 1. The internet going out in the middle of peak fiction, because it happens. It happens. You know what I find I'm talking just as scary as that? 50 minutes into a hunt, and I start feeling the rumblings. My guy's not moving the way that I want to, and it says, lost connection to PlayStation Network. That's what I fear just as much as that. You know what I'm saying? I'm paranoid, man. Those are the things that I find scary. That is my boogeyman right now. That is my boogeyman. We look for Yamato! Comes in. I know that pose. That's the Thunder Bagua. How do you say it in Japanese? Raime Hake Pa! Yo! Yamato hitting the Thunder Bagua. Who's who getting slapped with the flag nards as he should. Only Child Yamato in the Holy Inari Pilgrimage, Volume 28. Give back the sword and the girls. Thunder Bagua. Let's go. Yo, if Yamato was a Trails character, the S-Craft for Thunder Bagua would go crazy. It would go absolutely insane. Like, I would just... We got 144 Pecan? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hopefully, we'll be back to regular soon. Longsword Insect Glaive? Nice, missed. Nice, nice. I really need to try the Insect Glaive too, man. 3 of the 84 regulars are out sick, Oda says. 3 of the 84 regulars. It's the first time we've had this kind of crisis. What a week. I don't know what that means, but maybe he's talking about Pokemon. Let's get into this chapter. Miss. Sounds like me when I'm playing basketball nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I go in. Oh! Brick! I don't got it anymore, man. And it's not my fault. It's not my fault, man. It's the Florida weather. You know, you go out there, you start sweating, dog. You know, start feeling exhausted. Man. This is my record right here. That's my record on the field. The children, we're with the kids. The children are in an uproar. What in the world is that dragon thing? Is that the Holy Knights? Help us! Miss! There's a huge snake in the schoolyard. It's Jormungandr. Ooh, getting into the lore. The world serpent that'll end the week.
This is a pun on shumatsu, the end, which is the homophone of weekend in Japanese. Jormungandr. Nice. Obviously, we're talking about that in the mural chapters. So the kids end the week like Saturday. Yo, what a panel. End the week like Saturday? Jormungandr comes in, roars. Oh, man. We're just talking about Monster Hunter. How fun would it be to take this thing out? Would I last the entire hunt? Who knows? Kya! It's gonna eat us. Everyone get into school. I fell off, unfortunately. I did fall off, unfortunately. Everyone get into school. Walrus School Staff Room. Teachers, it's an emergency. There really is a big snake out there. Is it a beast from the realm of the dead? What's it doing in the sun realm? So Jormungandr came up from the realm of the dead. I hope we can get everyone out. Mathematics teacher Mr. Breed. Let's call the chiefs. As far as I'm concerned, that ain't gonna get you nothing. Eagles! Eagles! Calling the chiefs ain't gonna get you nothing. You ain't gonna get nothing! Just a big, fat L. That's all I know. Anyways, let's call the chiefs. Walrus School Principal, Mr. Kiba. But in the meantime, the kids are language arts teacher librarian, Miss Angie. So that's obviously Miss Angie. Miss, it's gonna eat Agercoon. I think that's how you say that. Agercoon. So goes in, you see Jormungandr come in, mouth open wide, double spread, out of the way. Who is that? Brother comes in with... Is that a hammer? He comes in with a hammer, sends Jormungandr packing. I mean, just smacks it. It's a critical hit on the wound. Monster Hunter style. It roars. Here comes Saul. Sorry I'm late. Leave it to me, Kiba. Final. Is that Armament hockey? Saul? Packing some hockey? Comes in. Hockey's up. Exorcitation. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Exorcisation, not citation. Exorcisation. Kanji is demonic purification. Oh, exorcising something. But it is a play on final exam. Exorcisation. Goes in, smacks the flagness of Jormungandr. It actually reminds me of the Luffy panel. Remember when Luffy came down with the elephant gun on top of Kaido at the beginning of Wano in Act 1? And he just sent him downwards. This is the same type of panel we're getting here from Saul on Jormungandr. Super cool stuff. Shout out to my boy Saul taking care of business. But wait a minute. The highlight of this spread has to be Kiba wielding this nail hammer thing. What is that, dude? That thing looks sick. I would like to wield something like that. Look at the amount of damage it does. That thing looks pretty sick, man. I'm not gonna lie. It looks super sick. Anyways. Then we pop over. The kids. Kia! What the? It's the principal. Now, straight up, Cold Steel 3 style, where the principal is the scariest person on campus. It's like, yeah, man, you want to try my school? You're gonna have to deal with Aurelia Le Guin, dog. Like, ow, my back! Oh, not the SpongeBob. Oh, my back. Thanks for the hand, Saul. Don't mention it, but what's the deal with the snake? Mr. Saul? Former giant warrior pirate Principal Kiba. Yo, Principal Kiba's rocking it, man. He's got the nail hammer. Looking sick. Even hitting the ow my back like he's in SpongeBob. All the kids look upon in awe. I can't blame them. I didn't know the principal was a warrior. Mr. Saul is as strong as they say. He used to be a Marine, right? Cool! Kakoi! So there are monsters in the realm of the sun, too. Bangs Robin blessing us with her presence. Robin coming in the chopper as well. It's huge! You get the occasional wild animal, but this. It's just beautiful seeing Saul and Robin, man, together. It just truly is. Monsters in the realm of the sun, too. Saul, you get the occasional wild animal, so obviously questioning why it is that that this thing made it all the way up here. I'm assuming it has to do something either with the Holy Knights or with Loki, for sure. It's huge. Sorry, everyone, didn't mean to scare you. Thanks so much. Wow! Mr. Wolf! What now? School interior. The PE teacher gets smacked up, dog. Look at the blood. Oh, that has to be the Holy Knights. This one's got to be the Holy Knights. Mr. Wolf, what happened? PE teacher, Mr. Wolf. I'm fine, but the children. Okay, this is definitely the Holy Knights. What happened? Ilva and the others just walked off. They didn't say a word. Where'd they go? You're friends with that Luffy guy, right? Yeah. Did he do something to you? You're friends with that Luffy guy, right? Yeah. He starts tapping? Did he do something to you? Be careful, Mr. Saul. The children, don't touch them. Where did Ilva and the others go? That way toward the beach. Sir, what's wrong with them? They look like they were sleepwalking. Sleepwalking? Like the Sailor Moon movie? Where all the kids got, I'm trying to remember. It was like, in the middle of the night, once the clock struck a certain thing, one of the main antagonists, like, took all the kids that were in the area and caused them to sleepwalk. One of the things I remember from the Sailor Moon movie. I always think of that. So are the kids all affected by, like, some sort of metronome? Or some sort of, like sound effect that caused them to do this? Because that's normally where the sleepwalking comes from. Is like they're all, like, moving to the rhythm of something. At least from, like I said, like the Sailor Moon movie. Or in other things that have tried something like this. I'm curious. And obviously Oda always utilizes stuff like that and just Odifies them. So they're sleepwalking. And they're walking on the beach. They're not waking up. They literally are all knocked out. Still walking and sleeping. So it's gotta be the Holy Knights. Trying to lead them back. So who has the power of putting people to sleep? Come back, where are you all going? Sound the horn! The entire country needs to be alerted. This panel's hilarious, by the way. It just has all of this big fat snot bubble going on as they're all walking. And I love how their personalities show with how each and every single one of them are walking. I think that's a very Oda thing to do. Yeah, it's super cool. I just peeped the arrow. Oh, God. Isn't that overkill, Kiba? Something's off, Saul. Look at the forest. Saul looks shook. Goes in, blows in at the horn. What the? Even more monsters! Where did they come from? No one would call it overkill after seeing this. Okay, yeah, this is definitely the Holy Knights here. Principal! Dude, look at the shadowed out. So we got the shadowed out snake first. Now we got a shadowed out version of like what looks like a alligator type animal. And the other one, it looks like, bro, these look like Monster Hunter creatures. You got the Hibarami up here in the big snake in Jormungandr. Now down here we've got another one of them on the right, and then we got another one on the left. More monsters. Where'd they come from? No one would call it overkill after seeing this. Bro, and they look huge as well, man. The kids are passing out. What's waking everyone up? What's happening? What's happening? Wake up, everyone. So obviously, Angie's trying to wake everyone up. They're all passing out. Dude, how in the flying flatters are they passing out? I don't understand. Hey, what's going on? Nami? I mean, Nami. She's always in my head. You always gotta have your wife in your head. But Robin and Chopper are both shook. Both extremely shook. I don't understand. Hey, what's going on? Put me down, Saul. Let me examine them. Okay, help them with whatever this is. We've got to stop the other kids and get them to safety. So obviously, whatever's putting them to sleep also has something to do with whatever's bringing these big behind animals up here. Realm of the Dead. Loki? Did you think just keeping one sea stone shackle on, that's gotta be Loki, would be enough to sap my strength? How naive. Look at that monster. Come on! Come on, man! Come on, dude! He's nasty! He's nasty, bro! I mean, he's just bleeding from head to toe! The dude has a sea stone shackle! But he's standing like, y'all think that's about to stop me? Do you know who I am? I'm him! If you care about keeping Elbaf safe, remove the last shackle. Rest assured, even in my current state, I'm far from helpless. That's a beautiful thing to say, Loki, but why in the world is your weapon? What is that weapon? That thing's bigger than us! You! What's his deal? I'd hurry if I were you. If I strike, the flames will rage. You know about Elbaf's greatest weakness, right? The lightning and the fire? He's got a hammer! There's no way! Y'all called it last week! No way y'all called this man having a flipping lightning hammer, dog! I will wipe you all out! Stop it, Loki! The hammer's producing electricity. No way spread. Loki comes in and he swings this thing like he's prime Barry Bonds. He winds it up, goes in, strikes. Look at the shadow. Zoro and Luffy. The air is cracking. The sky is rumbling. This man called lightning down from the heavens. Stop playing with Loki, dog. Stop playing with him. He's calling down lightning from the heavens and he has a shackle on his right foot.
Yes, Loki, we on the way. We're on the way. Come on, man. Dude. Dude, what was the name of his weapon again? Ragnar? Ragnar, that's what it was, Ragnar. I will wipe you all out. Stop it, Loki. Goes in. A single swing, dude. Calls in lightning from the heavens. Pierces through the tree. Goes down to the realm of the dead. Causes flames. What was that lightning? Elder Jarl! A fire is broken out in the south. I heard a horn blare too. This is bad, put it out. Obviously, two different things. One thing happening all the way on top, and another thing taking place in the realm of, one taking place in the sun realm, the other one in the land of the dead. The Walrus School, Mr. Saul, principal. All these monsters, I recognize them. Are you serious, Angie? It was just earlier today. It's Loki. He can use his hammer to destroy the world. Nuh-uh, the one who's gonna do that is Nika. And there's a picture of the flipping goat. Parallels again between Loki and Nika, man. From a couple chapters ago, it's Loki. He can use his hammer to destroy the world. Nuh-uh. The one who's gonna do that, the one who's gonna destroy the world, is Nika. And you see the sword and shield, dude. Hey, look at mine. I drew Loki because he's the scariest. No way. Fenrir is the most frightening. Fenrir. Don't stand on the table. They're power scaling, dude. This is amazing. No, it's ghosts. Perona. Draugr. A storm. Neo Hogger. Neo? Or is that Hog? Because I know, like, whenever you say, like, Nidhogg, I think that's how you say that. So maybe it's like Neo Hog, potentially. Maybe it's Neo Hog. Jormungandr, my mommy. That's real. That's real. Nothing stronger than mommy's sandals. Nothing on this. But you want to know what could one-shot Instant Messenger Sama? Try your mama's sandals. Try your mama's belt. Try it. I don't care who's in front of it. Shanks? Roger? Joy Boy? Nika? None of them. Mama's sandals get in there? Loki's hammer? None of it. I'm gonna play. That sandal has Conqueror's coating to the max. To the max, man. Y'all know it's real. Y'all know it's real. No question. Whoever said my mommy was spitting facts. Spitting facts. Are you kids finished? So obviously, they're all power scaling their fears. Miss, thinking about this stuff is gonna give me nightmares. Sorry, Ylva. But these drawings and writing exercises really let your personality shine. Oh, and one of the drawings here is of that animal that we saw. So what does that mean? Are they bringing their paintings to life? Each of you has a unique perspective and your imaginations are amazing. All the beasts are the things the kids fear the most. All the beasts are the things that kids fear the most? Is it like Asnot from Bleach? For those of you who have read Bleach, Asnot, one of the characters in Bleach, has an ability called the Fear. And it's an ability that causes individuals, no matter who you are,
to come face to face with like your very worst fears. And the way that's visually shown within the series is really cool. But that's the other time I remember fear being utilized as an ability. So do one of the Holy Knights have an ability like that too? Where they're able to utilize what they fear most? That's fascinating. All the beasts are the things the kids fear the most. That's crazy. Yo. Holy fuck. Dude, this is like the mural coming to life. Oh, this is one of the coolest Oda panels ever, dude. Look at this Look at this page. I love how unique each piece of artwork looks. I don't even know where to look first. Oh, dude, this looks so cool, man. This is their nightmare world. What? Elbaf! Come on, man. So you got the bear. You got Freddy Fazbear on the right. You've got a big dragon next to him. Then you have a huge dude in the middle, rocking gloves, looking straight like a giant. You've got Moltres' uncle on the top right. Here you have the big bad wolf. Then you have Zeus's evil brother. Then next to Zeus's evil brother, you have a flying ghost. You have... They even flipping brought forth an evil version of Nika, bro. Like, look at that. You know what that is? You know what this evil version of Nika is? That's what Rob Lucci saw before he got fodderized. That's what Kaido saw before he lost. That's what all the Gorosei saw as he was putting and laying down the smackdown. Each and every single person that Luffy fights, that's what they see. That's what they see. A menace who's just laughing at him while he's whooping him. That's the visual representation of what they see. You got Luffy. Dude, that looks so cool, man. So you have... Oh my god! And then on the bottom, you got one of those zombie Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Looks super sick. Just gotta fight Brook. And then you have a super cool shadow monster with a top hat. Dude, this looks straight out of the mural, man. I feel like I'm looking at the Void Sentry here. Dude, without question, right after the mural, this is my favorite page. I haven't even gotten to the rest of the page. I don't even know what's on the rest of the page. This right here solidifies this being number 2 favorite page in Elbaf behind the mural. This is One Piece right here. This is Adventure Piece. This is Lore Piece. This is Oda flexing the drawing ability to be able to mix a multitude of different styles all on the same page to showcase the fears of children. The nightmare world that only a child could potentially create. So to counteract a nightmare world, you would need to have a dream world as well. The one that that kid who drew the mural, who obviously saw his dream, right, and was drawing out the dream. So this is the opposite of that. This is a nightmare world. And Saul and Kiba and Angie are just... I would have blown the horn immediately as well. We know how big Saul and Kiba are. These things are towering over them. Towering. We gotta deal with this. It feels like war is breaking out. This is their nightmare world. One of One Piece's coolest panels, man. So then we follow up this insane page. We see some trees. Then we see Jude killing him, who says, all right, that should do it. So is Jude killing him the one that drew all that? He goes to sleep. Or at least a different version of killing him. Goes to sleep. Yep, good work killing him. I'll let it up once those runts reach the ship. Do you think they'll be able to get them back? So here we have Summers. So they obviously cause... So this is Killingham's ability? Or is it a combination of Killingham's ability with Summers? So no, it's specifically Killingham saying, I'll let it up once those runts reach the ship. Do you think they'll be able to get them back? To love is to inevitably hurt one another. All right, philosopher. Ain't that right, Gunko? What scares you the most? Ooh. We're getting into some... That's interesting. To love is to inevitably hurt one another. And then specifically ask Gunko, what scares you the most? As if to imply the love, a type of like hedgehog's dilemma going on there. Nika! Gunko! Gunko's afraid of Nika. I mean, obvious. I mean, you see how Instant Master Sama and the Gordosei feel. But very curious in context. To have Gunko state that is what she fears more than anything else. Break next week. No Shamrock. I'm assuming that means Shamrock's already gone back. So we're going to be exploring fear. So, are we going to have a character arc with Gunko? Seeing what she fears most in a Luffy, going Gear 5, heading up in like swimwear, having to confront that face to face, and then potentially turning to maybe look up to said figure and not fear them as much? I'm curious because obviously this is the same arc that's also going through creation myths, religion. And so fear has different connotations. Fear can be a reverential fear. To look at a godlike being and fear them out of reverence. But you can also fear something because you're afraid of what it can do. Right? Afraid of it destroying the world. It's kind of like how the kids were talking about earlier. So now I'm really, really curious. Gunko with that one line just sparked my curiosity as to where this is going to go. Very interesting. So that is what Gunko fears the most. So killing him created this dude. The Holy Knights are insane. This man, Jude killing him, just created an island-level nightmare world. Look at the size of these monstrosities. I can't stop looking at this panel, dude. This panel has the same gravitational pull as the mural. Look at how cool it looks. Am I still live? I was so locked in and absorbed. I should be. Yeah, I'm good. I have nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. We're good. Dude. Bro, look at this flipping page, dog. Oda's having the time of his life for this arc, man. Like, you could just see it. Just look at this page. What a cool page, man. What an amazing spread. Definitely. I'm just so fascinated. Like, what I can't stop thinking about is the opposites, right? This is the nightmare world. So the dream world, the world of dreams and desires, which is what we created, what caused the creation of devil fruits. How did that come into play? Because if a nightmare world like this was able to be created by a single person, God, man, I need that Void Century flashback, dude. This page is so cool, dude. Wow. This chapter had Loki striking down from the heavens. And this Nightmare World page. Once again, Oda delivers an extremely focused chapter. He's been doing that a lot in Elbaf. But in particular in the last few chapters, it's just the chapters, they have so much focus. And coming off of Wano and Egghead in particular, and obviously two arcs that I absolutely adore, both in my top 5. But certain chapters, out of necessity for what was going on, would feel very chaotic, right? Going from sequence to sequence to sequence, and it led into the some extremely intense and incredible sequences. But in this arc, from the very beginning until now, so far at least, obviously I expected to get much more chaotic later on, but the chapters feel very, very, very focused. Just extremely focused on things that are being built up from the beginning of the chapter until the end. It's honestly really, really cool to have that change of pace. I completely forgot. I forgot that Saul and Kiba hit Jormungandr with these attacks. That's how you know the chapter was great. Wow. The sleepwalking, the mysteries. Loki, bro. My guy, man. I mean, he comes in and in a single swing, just palo. Look at that. I can't stop looking at this Nightmare World page, dude. All-timer spread, man. And this Goonko thing is so interesting. Let's get into the supers. Excuse me. Let's get into the supers. Let's get into the supers because I'm really curious as to how y'all feel about this chapter. Oh my goodness, dude! Like, just look at how cool this looks. Wait, who's the mother? I'm looking in here. Unreal, man. This is a terrifying sight, bro. It's like a terrifying and a cool sight at the same time. It just looks so dope. So unbelievably dope, man. Scary Mommy's on the far left of that big panel. Oh, is that the one with the top hat? Oh no, I see it down on the bottom. The with the puffed up marshmallow hair. I see, kind of reminiscent a little bit of Big Mom. Everything. Oh, okay. I see. I didn't even clock that. So that definitely has to be the Scary Mommy, for sure. Okay, Big Mama. All right, let's get into some supers. Alright, here we go, man. Let's read some of these. No shit against Wano and Egghead? Oh, of course not, Quag 2. Of course not. We all know how much we adore those arcs over here. It's just a difference in focus, which is just super interesting. Like I said, it's just a super cool a change of pace for from going from arc to arc. It's something that allows Elbaf to feel unique in this. And even in something in regards to like page structure and chapter structure. CB Maddie comes in with membership for a year. Shout out to you, CB Maddie. A whole year since we had a child's dream and now we have their nightmares. And that's exactly what I can't stop thinking about, CB Maddie, is those parallels, right? Like we had a kid from 800 years ago who drew that mural and created that based on dreams. But now we also have their nightmares coming to life as well. So, and then we would go back to what Vegapunk said about how dreams and desires and the manifestation of those things is what created fruits. And it's like, yo, where's the connection with that, man? You know, like, where is the connection with that? It's so interesting. It's so... how is killing him doing this? Like, I wonder what the ability is to be able to do this on such a large scale. Thank you, Sue Maddie, for that. Appreciate you. Matthias Cerulli then comes in with a 100 ARS and says, I find it very interesting that the celestial dragon, that is literally a dragon, is making nightmares come true. Literal opposite of the dreams that the D represent. Right. Right. An actual literal dragon making nightmares come true. There has to be a connection, man. Especially now that you put it that way. Like, this is the celestial dragons being the ones that are making this nightmare world come true. The opposite of the dreams that the D represent. And it's like, yo, what is that connection, bro? Mother of flag darts. I'm so interested, yo. Like, what do we think this ability is? And if it's not an ability, then that's even scary. No, it has to be something. I don't know, man. I'm drawing blanks. I can't think of an ability that could, unless it's like the Nightmare no Mi, which I don't even know if something like that could possibly exist. But then again, I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. Gosh. Thank you, Manny Cerulli, as I attempt to wrestle with my thoughts here. But that is so true. An actual celestial dragon, or an actual dragon being a celestial dragon, is super interesting. Recon comes with membership for 3 years, yo. All love to you, Recon. 3 years. Your streams mean a lot to me, man. Yo, thank you so much, Recon, for the kind words. And for obviously having been here for the last 3 years, yo. From a stream standpoint. Obviously, we've been together longer than that, but for specifically for the last 3 years from a stream standpoint, I truly appreciate you, Recon. Thank you so much for not only the continued support, but for the awesome comments and theories, and your presence means a lot in these streams, yo. So I truly appreciate you for the last 3 years. Recon, what is Oda cooking, bro? What is that man cooking, dude? Thank you, Recon. Josh Brody goes with the 5 and says, Imu, Gorosei, and other gods' knights fear Nika. Killing him puts them to sleep. Summers does the nightmares. And Gunko with her arrows is guiding them. So you think killing him is the one putting them to sleep. Summers is the one doing the nightmares. And Gunko is guiding them. That would actually make a lot of sense in regards to all 3 of them utilizing their abilities together. That makes a lot of sense. So killing him is putting them to sleep. Unless it's Summers putting them to sleep, then killing them is the one that's creating this massive, crazy world. And then Gunko with the arrows is guiding them. That could also be another way. But you're absolutely right, Josh Pointer. All 3 of the major forces within the Celestial Dragons, they all fear Nika. And we have seen that in full display. Joy Boy had them shaking in their boots. And now we have this comment from Gunko. And it just like I said, it makes me think about the fear and how Oda could potentially explore the concept of fear through multiple different facets, especially with the amount of different things that have been brought up in this arc so far. Like we could look at we could be looking at a potential really interesting way of looking at different aspects of fear through multiple different eyes and lenses. But specifically, in regards to Gunko, I'm interested in why and for what what is the fear that she has for Nika? If it is due to a fear of Nika returning and destroying what she holds dear, or maybe, like I said, maybe it is reverential. Maybe it is a part of or maybe out of respect. I don't know. Maybe it could be a part of a whole character arc. Thank you, Josh Pointer. It's a great point. Kosh Panda comes in with a 5 and says, chapter ending mirrors the chapter title. The thing I fear most is equals break next week. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Yeah, we do have a break next week. Oh, that means we could do our top 10 favorite characters next week. Definitely do that. And man, Oda deserves his break. How many double spreads did he have in this chapter? Like 4? Goodness, man. Oda's cooking, yo. Take as long as you need, brother. Also, how will Tama Ulti relationship be given? Since Ulti tried to kill Tama. It's One Piece. I think they'll get along. I think they'll get along, gosh, man. We'll see how it's done, but I can definitely see it happening. I think Tama and Ulti could get along. For sure. Don't know how, but I most certainly think I most certainly think they will. But you're spitting with the chapter ending mirror in the chapter title. That's for sure. That's for sure. Thank you, Akash Panda. I appreciate you. St. Marcus Lem comes in with a 20 and says, Coach, King of Hype. After this chapter, I cannot imagine how strong Loki will be with the last cuff-off. Dude, one shackle on and came down on nearly shattered existence with that strike. With a shackle on. Imagine that shackle coming off, dude. And overpower active. Very quickly becoming my goat. You know, St. Marcus Lem, every chapter, I feel Loki getting higher and higher on my favorites list. He's just such a cool character. Like, down from, obviously, from the initial introduction, but the more you learn about this character and you can feel how deep the potential complexities of how this character feels about not just Elbaf, but also how the character feels about their own righteousness, what they believe to be the right thing to do, their sense of justice, their purpose. Just look at this chapter with the way that that Loki talks about it. If you really want. It was something along the lines of like, if you really want to help Elbaf or something like that, then free me from these shackles. And it's like, obviously that could be utilized as a way of Loki talking about it from like a cocky standpoint, but I genuinely do believe he wants the best for Elbaf in his type of way. And it's those layers that make him so interesting, on top of all the rawness, on top of all the cool stuff, on top of him wielding a thunder hammer. Goodness, man. Also, recently finished Yakuza 0. Let's go! Peak game, dude. And loved it. Majima and Kiryu are legends. St. Marcus Lem was that your first Yakuza game? Will you be continuing the series? But man, I'm so happy that you enjoyed Yakuza 0. That is a really special game. A very, very special game. Shout out to Majima and Kiryu, man. Shout out to the boys. God, sensational video game. Absolutely sensational. If one day they make like a list of greatest PlayStation 4 games that that like everyone should try, Yakuza 0 needs to be in that like top list, yo. It needs to be up there as like one that everyone should check out who's ever owned a PlayStation 4. It's just, that's a special video game. But thank you, St. Marcus Slim. Truly appreciate you. And yeah, the Loki hype just continues to get higher. It just continues to get higher each and every chapter, both in terms of his strength, and from like a power standpoint, but also from a character standpoint. It just becomes so interesting. From the initial introduction until now, it's just layers upon layers upon layers. Exciting stuff. Thanks, St. Marcus Slim. Herlock Sholmes was a member for 18 months. This is, what do you think Usopp's sphere would be? That's a great question, Herlock Sholmes. Obviously, contracting the island disease is number one. But I feel like Usopp could probably create a nightmare world. As a matter of fact, whoever has this ability, whether it's killing him or Summers, whoever it is, Usopp facing them in a Perona-esque battle would actually be super cool. Because I feel like Usopp would create so many fears, it might actually like come back to haunt the person who created them. So just imagine going into Usopp's mind and figuring out what he fears most. And you go down a massive list of all the things that he fears. I mean, you're talking bringing up previous villains within the One Piece verse within the Nightmare world. You know what I'm saying? We're bringing in the Sea Kings. We're bringing in like you think it. Usopp's talking about it, right? But I think his major fear actually parallels his dream. If we could talk about just the number one thing that Usopp fears the most, I genuinely think that it's not becoming a brave warrior of the sea. I think that's what he fears most. And it goes in parallel with his dream. Because I feel like with a character like Usopp, that is so ingrained in something like fear, and so a part of being the one who's always looking at things from a logical standpoint, that maybe he's looking at things and still feeling sort of like, can I actually do it, right? Is it something that I can actually pull off? And it's those fears and insecurities that could manifest themselves as him maybe believing he might not be a brave warrior of the sea one day. Maybe that is his biggest fear. An exploration of that would be really interesting, Herlock Sholmes, honestly. That could actually be something that we go through within this very arc. What Usopp fears most. Does he fear losing Luffy the most? Does he fear the Straw Hats throwing him away the same way that they did back in Water 7? Is that what he fears most? Or does he fear not becoming brave warrior of the sea? Does he fear letting the giants down? You know, there's a lot of things that he could potentially fear more than anything else. Is it death? Is that what Usopp fears most? Great question, Herlock Sholmes. Great question. Then Akashman follows that up with a 5 and says, what do you think each Straw's greatest fear is? Would be great to see some of them. This could be a great setup for Usopp to overcome his fear. I agree. Luffy for sure is losing his crew. I think his greatest fear after Sabaody and after losing Ace, realizing that the most important thing in the world to him is his friends. His greatest fear is losing his friends. His greatest fear is 110% losing those closest to him. I think that's his greatest fear. Frankie, it's probably the Speedo breaking. No, I'm playing that. Brook's greatest fear might be not seeing Laboon. Not being able to see Laboon. / losing Laboon. Because he feels like that's at the core of his existence right now. So that might be his fear. Laboon's skeleton, right? That's a great point, Quag 2. So Quag 2 says, does Usopp fear himself then? Will he have to conquer himself? That's a great point, yeah. That's a fantastic point, actually. Guess it was my first Yakuza game. Kiwami 1's already downloaded, and I wanted to get up to date to play Majima as a pirate. Let's go! Yeah, Kiwami 1's also an awesome game. But yeah, whenever you get to the Majima pirate greatness, I know you'll enjoy that. So, what about Zoro? I'm trying to think, because I was going to go down the list of characters and in the order they joined. But I've been thinking a lot about, let's look at Zoro's actions in this arc. Because he most certainly was very cautious last chapter. Let me come back to Zoro. Sanji's, we saw that on full display in 1031. It's the fear of losing himself so that he then starts hurting the people closest to him. So he fears he himself hurting those that he loves most. So I think that's his greatest fear. I think Robin's greatest fear would probably be the history of the world being buried, with no one being able to potentially get it, to be able to find it. Because I would say in the past, her greatest fear would have been like getting close to someone, because then they would inevitably be in the path of betrayal / being forced to having forced someone to perform to put them in danger, right? That's what happened back in Water 70's lobby. But after that, it's no longer the case. So it may have something to do with history. And similar to how what happened in Ohara. Ensuring that history gets passed on to future generations. So her greatest fear might have something to do with that. Chopper's is interesting because it could very well end up being like a disease that he can't cure. Frank's could be something as simple as like the Thousand Sunny burning, or the ship that he created coming back to take him out the same way of what happened back in the flashback. You know, you really don't know. His own creations being used against him. Zoro definitely fears death. especially before reaching his goal to be the strongest swordsman and reach Kuina. That is fascinating. And that's why you think he's cautious? I mean, he did have a run-in with the Grim Reaper, which we never got a follow-up to, but that actually could be his caution, or how cautious he's been ever since that took place. And now that he's closer to his goal than ever, that that sense of caution is building up with him. That's really interesting. I never really thought about that. Zoro's greatest fear being death. Specifically before being able to reach his goal. Nami's greatest fear is an empty wallet. I was trying to think of Nami's as well. That's hilarious. An empty treasure chest, an empty wallet. Realistically, it probably is like, God, that one's so hard. It's like the characters that I'm so close to, I feel like, are the hardest ones. Yeah, Lazy Mofos. I've been thinking about Jinbei's as well. Like, I genuinely don't know. Becoming someone like Arlong or Hody. That is so interesting. Like, fearing you going or becoming something like a Hody Jones or an Arlong. The thing that you do not want to be. That is fascinating. And you know what? I can see that being the case. Doing something like what Arlong ended up doing. Or becoming someone like that. Brandon King, I genuinely believe that Luffy's fear is his crew dying. I most certainly believe that is his because if we go back to chapter 500 and episode 505, I forgot the name of the chapter number. Episode 505 with the I still have my Nakama scene. That felt like after losing Ace, the core of what allowed his mentals to remain stable was the fact that his friends were still alive. So I feel like if his crew died, Luffy would shatter. He would shatter. So I feel like that is his fear. Is his crew dying. Akash Panda comes in with a 5 and says, going by Usopp's words in Dressrosa, one of Usopp's biggest trauma/fear is sugar, making him forget one of his crewmates. Ah, that's right, memory. That's a great point, bro. And I'm right there with Usopp, you know, in that regard. That's also one of my biggest fears, like on a serious note, is forgetting the things that are important to me. That's why I value memory so much. And the experiences that we have. Because that is truly what makes us who we are. We don't have our memories and our experiences. A piece of ourselves is gone, right? That is what makes us us. But I completely forgot about that, Akash Panda. You're right. You're spitting in that regard for sure. Usopp versus Sugar round 3, though. Let's get it. Exactly, Winston. Like, yeah, Sanji's is definitely becoming like his brothers and hurting those closest to him. Definitely gonna think about the Nami one though, man. Because like in Nami's case, obviously something happening to to her village is something that, I mean, that's what all of them fear. Something happening to those closest to them. But I feel like Nami's has to go with a lack of freedom. Similar to Yamato, I feel like her greatest fear has something to do with losing this newfound sense of freedom since being freed from Arlong Park. Ah, great point, Brendan King. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, screw what I said. You're absolutely right. We're talking about Mother Nami here. Mother Nami fears a starving/suffering child more than anything else. You're absolutely spitting. Absolutely spitting. Forget everything that I was just saying. You are 100% on the money on that. I'm a fake Nami fan for not even thinking about that. That is so true. That is so true. What if the Straw Hat's fears can't manifest because they are conceptual, unlike the monsters who can take a literal form? Well, Winston, what about if like something is created to manifest those things, right? Like a manifestation of those fears, similar to how like devil fruits are manifestations of dreams and desires. An enemy can be created of those fears, right? Like if we're talking about, let's just give an example, like the visual manifestation of death is the Grim Reaper. We need to come up with like a visual manifestation of like loneliness for someone like a Luffy, or a visual manifestation of like the child thing with Nami. The can would represent Sanji's for sure. So I feel like some of them can be represented visually. Going to be ghosts. Yeah, that's true, Joel. Delete. That's definitely going to be Brooke's greatest fear. That and never being able to see panties ever again. Oda saw the Darkrai update to Pokemon Sleep and felt inspired. Yo, high key. This chapter gave me a lot of like Pokemon / Monster Hunter vibes. I was like, yo, is Oda also playing Monster Hunter? With all these beasts? Nami always has a severe emotional reaction to the Strats fighting each other. Luffy versus Usopp, Luffy versus Sanji. Perhaps that's her greatest fear and trauma. And Akash Panda, I think that goes along with losing this newfound family, right? I feel like that's definitely among her greatest fears. Is also losing those closest to her once again, right? And that's something that they all fear because they all lost somebody close to them. But in Nami's case in particular, is that would invite shackles being put on her once again. But you're absolutely right in that regard, Akash Panda. She definitely does have a severe emotional reaction each time. What if this dude manifests Ace with a hole in him? That's a flipping, yo. I'd throw hands with Oda. I really would throw hands with Oda, dude. I'd be hurt. How is Elbaf getting better and better? Top 1 arc by the end, and 9.9%. Very well could be. Yo, it's nothing but heat. It is nothing but heat. So unbelievably good. Winston, it's so interesting, right? Like, I'm right there with you. Straw Hats versus their own fears, I think would be peak. I also think it would be peak. I mean, that's like the ultimate. And the thing is, Winston, it's the perfect timing. Straw Hats overcoming their greatest fears before they all accomplish their dreams. That's an alley-oop for peak fiction. They are on the precipice of achieving their dreams. Excuse me, all of them. Laugh Tale is next, to our knowledge, right? To at the very least how I see the series going. Lodestar / Laugh Tale is next. Their dreams are about to come true. This is going to be their last stepping stone before they have to go out and face their greatest obstacle in the WG and the Blackbeard Pirates and all of those things. But if they are able to overcome themselves and their greatest fears, when they reach the One Piece and they have to come up with a different answer than Roger Rayleigh did, then it's going to come of the answers that they had here within this arc, when they had to overcome those very same fears. And they truly become one with themselves and understand who they are. It could be a very interesting thing to explore, honestly. Dragon's biggest fear is looking west. How much do you think Gunko's story is gonna mirror Bonnie's? Was the fear of God instilled in her through propaganda or traumatizing experience? Opposite to Bonnie, whose only hope was Nika. That's a great point, Quag 2. You're right. I think we could be looking at a potential thing that parallels Bonnie's, whereas Bonnie was very hopeful and always looking out for this individual named Nika, who also gave her strength and hope within those horrible times. Maybe in Gunko's way of looking at things, kind of like what happened with the Giants, right? Where some of the Giants' kids, you have some that really look up to Nika as like this savior, this hopeful figure, whereas others, like they said in this chapter, have a Nika who's going to destroy the world. So maybe in Gunko's case, she was brought up in the other one, of like that Nika was born to destroy the world. It's going to be the one that destroys the world, which is going to be very interesting if Madame Shirley's prophecy comes true. And someone with a stride comes in and destroys Fishman Island, and Gunko experiences that and or witnesses it. Especially if that fear is truly like if that's like a deep trauma. A lot of different ways that we could go about this. But you're definitely right on that in that regard, for sure. Random question, but did you ever beat Yozora in Kingdom Hearts 3? Loki, I think he might be the hardest boss I've ever played against, ever, when compared to Souls bosses. Like Millennium Ishin for me. Dude, Yozora, I would say Yozora is probably... Especially on like Proud and Critical. Even on Normal. I would... Yeah. I'd probably say Yozora is definitely within that top tier. Is definitely within that top tier. I could definitely say that. Because I'm trying to think about another boss that's harder. Yozora's flipping hard, man. Like yeah. That's a great question, Mist. You might be right. I think Yozora actually might be the hardest boss. He's definitely up there. Like, there's no question about that. There's no question about that. Drawing blanks as to like if there's another boss like I like really. I mean, you brought up some of the other ones like Sword Saint Ishin and Millennia. That truly just go into like swimmer on you. But there's no doubt that Yozora's up there as well. AJ just released a video about Zoro's fears. Now we have this. AJ released a video about what? A regular video? I'm out here avoiding social media and AJ's dropping One Piece discussions? Dude, there's no way. Oh, I definitely gotta watch that. Shout out to AJ, man. Shout out to my guy.
Oh, that's super dope. I gotta watch that. And it's specifically on Zoro's fears? Frankie's greatest fear is probably his creations hurting his friends. Yes. I completely agree with that, Akash Panda. I'm getting, so I'm reading the Japanese text here. I'm getting CP9 vibes from all the Holy Knights in this chapter. They'll just sit back and watch Loki rampage. They'll be shaking in fear when they see Luffy transform into Gear 5. That's going to be so cool to see, now that you bring that up. Because if they all do fear Nika, then I look forward to seeing how they react to Luffy in Gear 5. Because last arc, we saw, obviously, Gear 5 representing hope. We saw, like, Kizaru and Sentomaru and Bonnie and Kuma, within the flashback, were able to do the Nika dance to give them strength. And then, obviously, we saw, like, the wonderful panels with Luffy and Bonnie together. But exploring people shaking out of fear when they see Luffy in a Gear 5 would be so interesting, and a great way to have those two go in parallel between Egghead and this arc. I would love it. I'd love to see the Holy Knights just being super shook, seeing Luffy in Gear 5, really digging into their fear. It's like, is that the one thing that ties them all together, all the Holy Knights? Is that they all fear Gear 5? How fascinating would that be? Thank you for the comment. Oh, that's super cool, man. Yeah, I definitely got to watch that video. How many more chapters could Elbaf possibly go on if the fire Loki just started won't be put out? I feel like it's already feels as intense as the second half of Egghead. Yeah, Quag 2, I completely agree. It feels like Elbaf's going to be a very long arc. But at the same time, with the way that it's being paced, it feels like it could also be like a Skypiea Alabasta length arc, which is 60 chapters. Because we're already 15 chapters in. So, or is it 15? Somewhere in there. Where the arc can go on for as long as Oda wants, and I think I would most certainly be all right with it because of how each chapter is paced. I'm going to say anywhere between 60 to 100, honestly, Quack 2. Yeah, true that. Like, we still have to make it to the Astral Realm. 17 chapters in. Thank you, Akash Panda. There's not many characters that fear Luffy, especially not strong characters that have yet to actually meet him. Gunko and Luffy's interaction are going to be super interesting moving forward. Yeah. Definitely agree with that, Joe. I'll delete. Especially if that fear goes into maybe even just looking at the form itself. That would cause for some very interesting interactions. And why I think an interesting character arc coming out of that from Gunko, potentially changing that, right? That fear going into respect and or admiration for something for Luffy would actually be super cool to see. $1,200? That's around 80 chapters long. Yeah, I can see that. Loki's hammer strike was like a signal that the main meat of the arc is starting now. I think it's just like a ringing of the bell of flipping chaos is ensuing. You know what I'm saying? It's nuts. It's getting really, really nuts. Now, just a great way of kickstarting this. I mean, it's already been nuts,
But this really felt like the central conflict is hitting its stride. What's good, Duzzy? What's good? Elbaf leading into the World War. I'll be there. I'll be there no matter what. Does Loki's hammer have a devil fruit? That's an interesting thing to ask here. I'm going to assume it has a connection to Loki's fruit because he talked about the shackles in this chapter. So I want to say that it's Loki himself that's powering it up with his fruit. But if Loki's hammer has a fruit too, then I wonder what the hammer's fruit could possibly be. Elbaf tech. Ooh, you're cooking with that. I didn't even think about Elbaf tech, and that's where like the lightning's coming from, or like how we could like reach into the clouds and stuff. Of course, Loki would have to like power it himself. But I think Akash Band in regards to the Sea Stone thing, I think it would depend on what Oda's trying to do with someone like Loki, right? Because we've never had a character that can go against the Sea Stone. But what about if he were to create or have a character that the Sea Stone doesn't affect as much as it does others, right? So like you have someone like Loki, half the shackles are gone, or just a shackle on the ankle is left, and he's still able to activate his ability, and it does not fully negate it. That would be the first time in the series, and I think that would be an interesting thing to explore, especially as we get closer to the end game. Would it break the rules of the verse? Probably. But it would be a very interesting thing to see this late into the game. To have somebody finally do it. Has a lightning and fire dial inside. I love that comment. Loki's about to be a good guy for Elbaf. I think Loki's just going to be Loki. You know, I don't think he's going to be a heel or a babyface. I think he's just going to be Loki. But I do think, especially based on this chapter and on the Nika parallels, I think everything he does is for the betterment of the future of Elbaf and the Giants. The way he goes about things, who knows? But I most certainly do believe that is why he does things. So his intentions are good, but even good intentions can have consequences. And I feel like that's going to be a major key factor for his character. Yeah, that's true. Bonnie Lilith's going to come back like that one gif. Hey, Jester, how's it going? Maybe he's just too big for the Sea Stone to affect him. Could also be something as well. Alright, we'll go on for a few more minutes and then we'll call it. It's almost hitting the 2-hour mark. Appreciate everybody for stopping by today. Once again, as a quick reminder, next week... Did my computer freeze? That next week we will be doing our top 10 favorite One Piece characters now that we are on break. And hopefully, if my internet gets fixed, we'll be able to do that. But that is the plan for next week. Super excited to record that and or do it live. I have no idea what we're going to do with that yet. But if that's something that interests you, that is something I really can't wait for to be able to finally discuss. Because it's been a long time since we've done a favorite characters thing for One Piece, so super, super excited for that. Unknown Artist comes member for 26 months and says, "Morning from UK, Coach. Good chapter. Good chapter, Unknown Artist. I really, really loved it. Really loved it. But good morning to you, Unknown Artist. Yeah, this chapter was super fun. Love this late night streams. Appreciate you, Yusuf. I know it's a tough one depending on where you are in the world, but this is the only time I can stream, so on most days. That's what I'm saying, UB City. Like, it really just might be just building up Loki to be that guy. Appreciate you, Tetsuya Saul. I wonder if Ragnar is a supreme grade weapon as well as Cerberus. That's actually a great question. I'm going to say that Ragnar probably is. And then knowing Shamrock probably is as well. This also got me thinking, what is Blackbeard's greatest fear? What is Blackbeard's greatest fear? Do you think it's drowning? Do you think we're going to take it into the most piratey thing imaginable and just say that it's drowning, Brandon King? One month to go till the anime comes back. I'm so excited, yo. I can't wait for the Kuma flashback because it's going to destroy me. But yo, Luffy versus Kizaru is going to be nuts. I can already feel it in the anime. Lakers win versus Knicks. We love to see it. Sleeping. Yeah, he doesn't sleep. That's a great point. His greatest fear is sleeping. Yeah, sleep could be his greatest fear. Y'all are spitting on that. I forgot about that plot point. You're absolutely right. Sanji clapping Gerd. Is that his fear? Is that somebody's fear? Blackbeard's fear is Sanji clapping Gerd. Chopper v Holy Knight incoming. Let's get it. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to change in the time slot for the anime. So we'll be getting those at a different time period. Blackbeard's fear is also being alone in his own way. He was alone when Whitebeard found him. So potential loneliness similar to Luffy. Irrelevancy, that's also very interesting. Like irrelevancy being a fear. Not being relevant. Not being a part of the prophecy and or of the end game, right, of the series. Nami will tame Loki. I'm a part of that. I'll be with that. That'll bring the Lola plot point into it. Although I most certainly do think that Loki's going to put in work before that happens. But yeah, let's get it. We've got to bring the Loki wife plot point back into this at some point in time here in the near future. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for me. I do have to get to bed. But thank y'all so much for stopping by today. Hope everybody's enjoying Monster Hunter, continues to enjoy it. And once again, for anybody who's looking forward to the Daybreak 2 review, I've already have it recorded, ready to go. Internet is really bad. And then right behind that, I have a video looking at the upcoming video game releases, what I'm excited for, can't wait to play. That'll be for the members. So that'll be a membership exclusive video, which thanks to these streams, that's like a whole bunch of the channel. God bless y'all for that. So that'll be going up for the members. And then a Trails Through Daybreak 2 video is, I'm going to try my hardest to get that up before the end of the weekend, if the internet works with me. Next week, we'll be back with the with the characters ranking. Super, super excited for that, and I'm going to try my hardest to see if I can get some Kingdom in as well. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for me this week. I will see y'all for the One Piece Greatness next week to rank our favorite characters. And like I said, hopefully internet works to be able to get all these videos up that I have storing up that the internet's just not allowing me to be able to put up there. So much love to y'all. Thank you so much. Wait, Coach, you missed the Octo Rock in the final chapter, most important part of the final spread, most important part of the chapter. I missed an Octo Rock? There's no way I missed an Octo Rock. Yeah, for real, Akashpan. You're not the one Roger's waiting for. Like that real deal might have been the thing that Blackbeard fears most, is him not being a part of that. There's no way there's an Octo Rock in this final, man.
There is one, bro. It's right on top of the wolf. How did I not see the octopus? And that thing is huge, dude. You see its tentacles coming out of the bottom. This spread is amazing, man. All right, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed before we get distracted again. I will see y'all. Y'all have a good one. Take care. All love to everyone. Dude, this... Actually, hey, hold on, man. Before we end the stream, we actually made it 2 hours with my bad internet, man.